What is going on, guys? In this video I'm going to be talking about how you can edit your title description and your meta description inside of WordPress. So obviously many of you may have websites and whatever else, and you may want to edit that and really optimize it to get the best click-through rate. So that's obviously when you show up on the Google search rankings as a result, and then when all of those different pages are there, obviously the person or viewer is going to click on the one that they feel is going to best answer their query. So we're going to talk about that in depth on the computer. So let me not talk anymore. Let's get straight into it. Okay, great. So we're just here on WordPress at the moment. And one of the first things that I wanted to target before we actually go through this, it's going to be a really quick video. But what it is you can also edit your homepage meta description. So a lot of people actually don't know that you can do that. So what happens is you might edit all of your different posts and pages and whatever else, but you might forget about your actual homepage, and your homepage is how search engines will determine what your whole website's about. So it's really, really important and something easily overlooked. So the way that you can do that is, first of all, if you had the plugin called All-in-One SEO, then that will allow you to do it. But for this video and the purpose of it, I'm currently using Yoast. So Yoast used to have that feature, and as far as I know now, they don't. So the way that you can do that is by going to settings in general, and this is the way that you can edit your homepage meta. So basically right now, this is it right here. So whatever I edit for this is the website, and then this will be the meta description. So just say this site's all about, making money and whatever else. You can just put that in there. Now for meta, you want to keep it in between 150 to 160 characters. So that's exactly what you would do here. And then basically when you search for this site, like, I don't know, just say anything we search on Google. I just thought of money, I don't know why. But yeah, so basically if we search for anything, as you can see, these results is for the actual home pages. Yeah, so this is like a home page. So let's have a look. This isn't, because that's like actually a page on Wikipedia, and this one appears to be just a home page. So it's something like this. This is like the actual website and what it's about. So it says the money advice service, blah blah blah. Yeah, this is the homepage meta. So what I'm talking about is actually editing this so that if your homepage is found on Google, it obviously shows the correct information about what your site is about. So you can do that here if you're using Yoast, and again, if you've got All-in-One, then it allows you to do it. So following on to that, what we're going to do next is go into Yoast SEO, and this is how we're going to edit the meta description. So we're going to go to general. Let's just have a look here, and I believe it's under, okay, sorry, it's just under search appearance there. So if we go into search appearance, it will allow you to generate how you would want your title separator. So this is what you would set up firstly. And first things first, if you haven't got Yoast, obviously, then make sure you install that plugin, which is just go into plugins, add new, and then you type it into the search box and install it and activate it. So once you've done that anyway, you come over here. Now I recommend just leaving that the same. And then you've got here content types, so all of your different content types, and then this is how it will be displayed, whether it be the title page separator, which is the thing that we've just got up there. So that's the separator. And then last is the title of the site. Okay, so when you see this, for example, this is money advice service is the title of the site. And then obviously it's got semicolon, so they've used semicolon, which is probably in that what we was just looking at, which is there. So you could set that so it's automated on every post like that, so all of your posts will look like that, which looks pretty good as well. I think that looks pretty good, so all of these sites are currently using it. I actually usually use the separator, but I mean, yeah, whatever you want to do. Sorry, I use the dash, like the little dash, but whatever it is you want to do, obviously just select it here. And then content type, so this is obviously asking you, it's allowing you to set like a cemented setting across the board. So this will be the setting for whatever post or page you create. It will be automated and default to this setting that you've got here. So obviously you can see title, page, separator, title, so site title. So this is the title of the page, and then page, like, the actual / and whatever else. and then separator, and then site title. Like, you know, you probably might want to take that out and just keep it to title and page or whatever, you know, or put it the other way around, however you want to do it. Then it's asking you if you want the date in there. So let's see if we can find an example with that. We haven't got any examples here, but you know how it shows up there, it would have like the date, like 1902, whatever. So like personally, I would leave that out, just leave it clean and leave this relatively similar to how it is. So just say, for example, now we're creating a post. This is what we would do. So we come over here, and then I've got this test page anyway. I think I used it for something else. So we can see here that this has the date and all of that. Don't worry about that. I mean, you can remove all of that stuff. So if I go to setting, it's not relevant for this video. But anyway, so you could remove that and just have it so it's /test page and without all of this, you know, stuff here, which I would recommend highly that you do. But when you've got the Yoast SEO plugin, the way it works is you'd usually have this default editor. So I've actually, you know, got this tool. I've got the Divi plugin installed on this site. So let me just create a new one on the page, because this Divi can be a bit confusing for someone who's new. So we're just going to wait for that to load. Okay, brilliant. So you're going to, if you're coming into a new page, this is what you would do. You would title it. So we're going to say, for example purposes. So this would be our title of the post. I'll fix that. Okay. And then we're just going to click in here. It will generate a small URL there. Yep. And then I'll just save that draft. Okay. So the good thing about Yoast is that it's a great guideline. Now, some people get confused and they start to think that this thing is telling you how to do your SEO. It's not that accurate. So it's telling you that, but you're not supposed to listen to everything, because it's just a tool. Like, it's not actually something that's been completely sort of designed to constantly be updated with the best SEO techniques. So the main purpose of this tool is purely to provide you guidelines for your meta description, your titles, and basic SEO purposes. So, for example, things I'd pay attention to is, you know, like things like key phrase length and meta description length and whatever else, because it's giving you like some good metrics to work with. So what you would do is basically you're going to optimize your title for click-through. So if you can see, obviously, that, you know, you're going for this whatever keyword example that you're trying to go for, just say, for example, it was money or whatever we just used in the example, is that you would want to see what the top 10 sites are doing, because obviously you want to see what Google's actually currently enjoying, what they like, you know. So you want to understand what it is that is required to get that top ranking in that sense. Yeah. So you would come over. So for example, you know, if it was like, I don't know, money tips or something. So let's just see that. So for example, you know, we've got a big authoritative site here, Money Saving Expert. But yeah, so if we had this, you want to see exactly like what type of titles are being used at the top. So this is how I would construct and compose my idea. Now, there's a great book which is called Copy That Sells by a guy called, what was his name? Ray Edwards. Now, that's a brilliant book. It gives you like many different title descriptions to really optimize your click-through rate and increase them. But ideally, the most practice you're going to get and the most experience is just purely by doing it. So if you come and really get stuck in and just take a look and see, because although you can read books and whatever else, it can give you a generic idea, but you need to see what's currently working in your market in this current time. So we can see obviously that all of these titles are saying, you know, like top money saving tips, tricks and treats. So that's a kind of catchy headline. Now, one thing that's caught me straight away is that they've actually got the post title here and then the actual branded title on the right hand side, like the website name. So you can see it there, you can see it there, you can see it there. So all of these top ranking websites have actually got the website name on the right hand side. So that's something I'd be looking at straight away. Then the other thing is, you can see that because this is orientated around tips, people love like a kind of list. So this would be like a listicle type of post, you know, like a listed out post. So it'd be like 14 best tips on this, or 15 this, or 10 this, and whatever. You know, that's the kind of thing that you can see people are really interested in. Look, 22 this, 101 ways to save money, 54 ways, and so on and so forth. Not sure if you can really beat those kind of numbers, you know, but if you got a lot of, you know, motivation, then go for it. But yeah, so we can see then the other thing we want to pay attention to is if the actual keyword is showing up in the meta description. So you can see all of these bolded descriptions here of where the keyword is showing up. So it's not actually in this one here. So it's showing up there, but it's not inside. And then this one's got tips, this one's got money, this one's got cash, so on and so forth. So not all of them actually have their keyword exact match inside, which is not a big deal. Like, at the same time, they're still ranking. Ideally, I would definitely put the exact match keyword inside of your meta. So like, you know, as a new site especially, I mean, you wouldn't be probably going for something as high searched or high competition as this, sorry, but you know, at the same time, this is the approach that we're taking. So we're just trying to understand what Google wants for this kind of topic, and also what the users are looking for and what they'll most enjoy, what will be the most helpful to them. So this is got like a PDF attached, a PDF guide and whatever else. So the best new ones included weekly blah 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 money tips. So it's talking about a PDF, and 5 days ago. Okay, so you also want to see how new this is as well. And then okay, so the idea of your meta description is to captivate the reader and quickly entice them to make that split decision to click on your post. And the only way you can do that is by basically qualifying them. So you want to entice them in a way that they believe that you have the answer to the query. So if someone was looking for money tips, then obviously, you know, you need to basically confirm to them that you have that, you know. So I would personally take the approach of how this kind of is orientated here, of talking about, you know, the best blah 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 weekly money tips. So you're telling them you've got money tips, and also the other things that that kind of person may be looking for. So if someone's looking for money tips, then they're probably going to be looking on advice on how to basically, you know, all the different things. You could break it down of saving money, investing, you know, maybe saving on expenses and all of these different things. So cutting back and all of those different kind of topics. So you would basically explore it, and then you would list it inside of that meta description. Now you can see that they haven't been truncated, and what that means is, you know, Google haven't cut it off. That hasn't been cut off. That hasn't been cut off. That hasn't been cut off. Neither is that. So, you know, all of them are within the parameters that are required for the meta description, which is 160 characters, as I believe, to this current date. So what we would do now is just basically come over here. One thing is we would want site title on the right, so that's already there, so that's great. And then we would compose our meta description. So here you would want to include the keyword. So say, for example, this was our target keyword. In Yoast, you can put that in there, focus keyword, so that will tell you how much times it's in the content and whatever else. So then this is the slug, which means the /. You see this part here, that's what it is, yeah? So you got the website, and then you got this /, and then obviously, you know, for example purposes, and that's what we're going to use. So, you know, I would basically start it off by saying I decided, or the get weekly our weekly best tips for example purposes. I don't know, this is just the example inside of the new and updated newsletter. This has been put together to end all doubts. I don't know, however you want to do it. Now, this thing's basically going to tell you when you're in the green. So ideally, I think it ranges from like 100 and something characters, 140 to 160, something in that region. Now, this doesn't look like it's even 160 characters. We can check that quickly by just going over to word counter. Let's just take a quick look and see. I highly doubt it. Let's have a look. This is what I was using last time. Don't even think it's near there. Yeah, so it's 133. So yeah, reasonable. But as we can see, so 160 is the max you can go up to, and this will basically allow you to compose the slug. I would leave that the same, like don't change that. Then the title, you can basically change this, so you can edit that as well. So you can have the site title but you can add to this. So you could be like, for example, purposes, this post is the best. I don't know, whatever you want to put. And you can see how it's in the green. Now, the idea of this, again, this part here is going to be, that's that. And you want to make that as good as possible in order for people to, click through. So you want to entice people. And the way you can entice people is by basically giving them a good answer or a good way, a good form, that you've got the answer inside of the post. That's all they need to know, is that you have the answer. Because you have to think, when you take a perspective of a reader or someone that is just searching for something, it's a split decision. You've got like a few seconds, if not one, less than a second, to actually prove to them that you're the answer, you're the right one. And the more clicks you get through to your site and the better the user experience, the higher that you will rank in Google, because the algorithm will then determine that you're a very helpful resource for that particular query. Okay, and that's it. That is literally it. Once you've done that, obviously, this would be after you've already written your content and whatever else. And this is how you would optimize it. And that's your titles. Again, I would highly recommend the book, Copy That Sells, if you want to find out for the best titles. But if you obviously just want to learn on the spot, then go and check what the best, obviously, top 10 ranking websites are doing. So you can see here, it's like 50 ways to save money, 50 money saving tips, and all of that type of thing. So you would just compose, like 25 money saving tips. Like 25 ways to, or 25 money saving tips this year. Yeah, something like that, or 25 money saving tips for your home, or something like that, whatever it is. And you just basically research the niche, and this is how you'd compose it. And once you've got that, just make sure that's in the green, good, and then publish your post and done. Okay, hopefully this was helpful, and thank you for watching.